It appears as though evil lurks around us at any given time, and legends about those who bring upon unfortunate things to us vary from culture to culture. Sometimes we forget the power that the belief of nefarious entities has had on us since the beginning of civilization. Many of them might share mysterious similarities that might make you wonder about the origins of these tales. From demons that come out of the forest to eat your kids, to hybrid creatures that want to devour your soul.
Here is the hidden history of demons in ancient times.
Number 10. The Penan Gull in Malaysia. One of the stranger and more frightening demons on this list is arguably the Penan Gull. This mythical demon can detach its head from the rest of its body and then float around. This one tends to go hunting for victims late at night in a pretty gruesome fashion. According to legend, it'll float around with its spinal column and internal organs while it glows in the dark. The internal organs also act as tentacles to move obstacles out of its way and to latch on to the source of blood. Nothing is off limits for this terrifying creature of the night and will devour any living mammal in sight, including babies. Don't forget about this woman's incredibly long tongue either. This isn't your average tongue and is shaped like a straw in order to drink your blood easier. It can also apparently go underneath doors too, so nowhere is safe. We certainly hope it's not real, and even if it's not, it's certainly frightening enough to the point to keep you from visiting the country of Malaysia. Number 9. Upir, the Russian vampire. This mysterious vampire legend comes from Russia, and there's only one thing that will quench his thirst more than vodka. You guessed it, human blood. This vampire demon could pass off for a normal human, but the only thing that'll give it away is its metal shiny teeth. It'll do more than just drink your blood, it'll feast on your flesh as well. Legend has it that it loves the taste of hearts since so much blood passes through it. Upir prefers hunting down children, but when it's really hungry, it doesn't care whose blood it's sucking. It also doesn't mind the taste of dirt either. It's believed that during each winter, the Upir will actually chew its way out of the grave and then go back into sleep mode once the feast is over. In contrast to traditional vampires, it also comes up during the day and sleeps at night. Sounds like one productive vampire demon thing. Number 8. Ancient Greek vampires. The ancient Greeks had similar legends to what would be considered your modern-day demon. A daughter of the goddess of Hecate named Empusa was described as being a demonic bronze-footed creature. She'd roam around, feasting on blood, but would take the disguise as a beautiful Greek woman. This is one woman demon that you don't want to mess with, and you shouldn't let her beauty fool you. She would seduce men with her beauty, and then as they fell asleep, she'd feast on their blood. When she was really thirsty, she'd find some homeless people sleeping on the street and attack them as well. However, one day she decided to attack the wrong guy. The almighty Zeus was sleeping on the street one day, and when she wanted to go in for the kill, Zeus overpowered her with his wrath, and Empusa was defeated. In her original form, she's depicted as wearing bronze slippers, having a leg of a donkey, and a prosthetic bronze leg for the other one. Number 7. Asmodeus. In Judeo-Islamic lore, Asmodeus is being described as a king of demons and earthly spirits. In Christianity during the Renaissance, he's described as being the king of the 9 hells or even one of the 7 princes of hell. He specialized in spreading lust and has been known to prey upon kings, queens, and other divine beings. He's often depicted with a hooked nose, jagged teeth, and can breathe fire. He might be seen with multiple heads and even brightly feathered legs of a rooster. If that didn't seem creepy enough already, Asmodeus will also ride on the back of a lion with the neck and wings of a dragon. This powerful demon is believed to be the father of a succubi, or a demon who sucks the soul out of a man, which brings us to our next one. Number 6. Succubus. We probably witnessed our friends getting involved with one before, and it's not a demon to be underestimated. They're known to be extremely seductive, to the point where every man will fall head over heels in love, and once they do, it's already too late. Succubi were originally portrayed as being ugly creatures and weren't so glamorous during medieval portrayals. These demons have no intentions on pleasing the men in the long run, but only to hypnotize them to take control of their soul. They might even steal their seed, alter it somehow, and use it to impregnate human women. This results in unnatural deformation. The basic idea of a succubus is pretty extensive throughout different cultures too. Number 5. The Emmett. Emmett basically translates to the soul eater or devourer, and he lived in the underworld waiting for lost souls to feast on. It had the attributes of a lion, a hippopotamus, and a crocodile, some of the most ravenous beasts Egyptians had contact with. Once people's hearts weighed more than the feather of truth, this beast got the opportunity to eat them. The heart was a symbol of the Egyptian soul and was the only organ Egyptians left inside people during the mummification process. This wasn't worshipped as a god to the Egyptians, but more like a feared demonic being. It's often featured sitting next to the scales waiting for its next meal. With the hindquarters of a hippo, the body of a wild cat, and the head of a crocodile, this certainly wasn't the hybrid you'd want to mess with. Number 4. Moloch. Alex Jones was the first reporter to ever actually sneak into Bohemian Grove without getting caught and prosecuted, and what he found was quite shocking. He found out that high-ranking politicians were worshipping an idol known as Moloch, which is the Canaanite god associated with child sacrifice. Not only that, but there was a pretty shocking mock human sacrifice that took place, and it's known as the cremation of care. Moloch is a very mysterious entity and is traditionally depicted as a large bronze statue that would be heated up. Victims will be thrown inside the furnace of the statue as an offering to appease him. He's often described as being the king of the fallen angels and was a precursor to Satan before Christianity. However, it's believed that his legacy lives on in the modern times and is still worshipped in bizarre ceremonies. Number 3. Apep. This ancient deity was also portrayed in the form of a reptile, coincidentally, and it was mentioned during the 8th dynasty as an opponent to all that's good. Apep in Egyptian mythology often represents total chaos, and many rituals were done in order to ward him off. Egyptian priests and priestesses had a detailed guideline for fighting Apep, which included using a knife, stomping on it with your left foot, using a lance, or setting it on fire. Some claim that he was originally created from the umbilical cord of Ra, which would be ironic considering that Ra is often portrayed as a hero. Apep was believed to live in the underworld and feast upon souls of the unprotected. People were even buried with spells in order to destroy the evil character. The god Set was employed by Ra in order to repel this giant serpent creature known as Apep that stretched 50 feet long. Number 2. The Krampus. This is why kids need to behave during Christmas time or the Krampus might come out and get ya. This beast-like creature has claws, fangs, horns, and will beat up kids with a whip. Here we see a photo of the German mythical creature who basically does the opposite of Santa Claus. He has long horns and he likes to hunt down naughty children and abduct them. He lives in the underworld as far away from the North Pole as possible. He might even slightly vary in appearance from region to region, but one thing is certain, you better watch out and try not to cry. And before we get to our number 1, let us know in the comments section which demon you think is the most terrifying, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. And number 1, Yuri. You might be familiar with the Aokigahara Forest, located at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan. But you may have no idea how truly haunted this place actually is. People who come here are allegedly driven by mad demons known as Yuri, who lust for destruction. Despite the signs here warning people not to hurt themselves, the people just don't listen. The naturally forming twisted trees are just downright creepy as well. Yuris are often described as a spirit that's been lost after the person lost their life suddenly or from self-inflicted injuries. They have powerful emotions that are often filled with rage, love, revenge, jealousy, hatred, and sorrow. They're often fueled by a desire that has never been fulfilled during their lifetime. The best way to get rid of these demons is to help fulfill its purpose. It can be done if the family of the Yuri seeks revenge upon their slayer, or if it gets the love of whom it was passionate of.